Hello, everyone. Jessie with some astrology here for the full moon in Leo that's coming up this Wednesday. I'm going to try really hard today to be succinct. I want to make these shorter, but each one I do tends to get longer. So I'll give this a try. Full moon is going to be exact February 16th at 10:56 a.m. This is Central Time, and this is on Wednesday. So we have the full moon here at 27:59 Leo, and as we are approaching this full moon, there's lots of energy moving into that fixed fire sign, and that's opposite with the sun here in the fixed air sign in Aquarius here. And so you may start to feel like, as the sun is amplifying that fixed air energy, more and more spotlight on the crown, and with the moon opposing it in this fire degree, amplifying a lot of that fixed fire energy. So as I told my class today, if you start to feel like your head is like, I don't know, like I had a headache the other day, it was just too much pressure. If the head and the crown chakra are being overly charged with energy, you can remember what the gurus say. It doesn't matter if the head is on the right. The most important thing is your heart soul. Leo is definitely about the heart and that noble heart energy, trying to balance that intense crown energy. So the full moon degree at 27:59, right at the cusp of 28. And this is a series where like 7 full moons in a row are falling at this 27-degree mark. I think this is the 4th one of those. This degree that the full moon will be at is many little birds on the limb of a large tree. So there's the sense of a large tree being able to support many little birds. And those little birds, it's iffy if that could be seen as like trapping a lot of little birds, or if that's like simply offering the strength that the noble lion has to support so many little creatures in being the king of the animals. The sun at 27:59 is at a degree which reads, a tree felled and sawed. So on the opposite side is this dismemberment picture of a tree being cut up and chopped up into many pieces. At the very last degrees of Aquarius, it can be like with that fixed air and all the mental wisdom that was created. And then at the last degrees, it's like we just chop it up to begin to break up the things that have become too fixed in the air in order to make way for a new mystery or a new way of holding those thoughts. But that can also be like this crucifixion experience. If we hold ideas too tightly or beliefs too tightly, or we're stuck in loops of thought, that we have to let those ideas break up and make room for new pathways of thinking, new neural network connections to be made in the brain. So mantra and the practice of meditation could be really helpful to help dissipate some of those intense fixed air energies. All right, so I'll just quickly go around the chart here. For Moorhead, Minnesota in particular, this event chart has the ascendant and the most fortunate path also at that 28-degree mark, making a grand cross. So for us in particular, there's this really intense kind of crucifixion moment of balancing the fixed air and fixed fire with also the fixed water and the fixed earth. And the ascendant degree at the beginning of Taurus is about a woman being pursued by mature romance. So we have that feeling of mature love just in time for Valentine's Day. And at the opposite degree, 2851, the most fortunate path in this house of partnership. This degree, if we back it up to 28 degrees, is the king of the fairies enters his domain. So interesting opposites to consider with the tree that holds a lot of birds, the tree that's cut down, a mature woman in love, and the fairy king entering his domain. So the symbols and energies of this particular cross. All right. Another opposition that's happening for this particular event, the vertex, the doorway of cosmic energy coming through is at 2611 in Libra. And this vertex is about an airplane sails high in the bright, clear sky. So that can have to do with seeing clearly or sailing quickly. Again, using that air element that Libra has to get across a vast blue sky. Opposite the goddess Hecate, the triple goddess, who's at the very last degrees right now of Aries. And this degree of Hecate at the end of Aries is an old Indian. Oh, wait, that's not the right one. 27 Aries, a lost opportunity regained in the imagination. So if we feel we've missed the mark on something or not seeing clearly, to be able to use the imagination to recreate that which we would like to manifest. The triple goddess is here helping that happen. All right, we'll go around with some of the major conjunctions of this full moon. We have here Mars and Venus are dancing together in Capricorn. And by this full moon, Mars will have passed Venus. And Mars is 1658 and Venus is 1657. So right at this full moon, Mars has just overtaken Venus. And I've heard some astrologers talk about this as being a situation that could be traumatic or even a situation like rape. And what I've been wondering about is how would we see Mars overtaking Venus in a way that's positive? Because I think, actions and energies can have lower vibrational outcomes, and they can also have like a higher octave or a higher potential. And so I'm wondering about Mars overtaking Venus and taking the lead in a way that gives Venus a chance to just relax a little bit. And she's in her battle goddess element. She's just come out of the underworld. And maybe this Mars taking the lead for a little bit gives Venus a chance to just flower and open and just slow down and feel safe in Mars's leadership and fire. So I think that's an opportunity for us as we're dancing in our own relationships and partnerships and dealing with the energies of passion and desire that Mars and Venus can bring up, to find that the way in which the other can rest in someone else's lead. So those would be some Valentine's theme week energies coming up this week. Mars and Venus are also still very close to Vesta sacred fires here, leading the way of this ancient lover pair through Capricorn, and they will enter Aquarius together on March 7th, and Venus will revisit Pluto, Lord of the underworld, with Mars. Together they'll kind of have this underworld experience before going into Aquarius. So that'll be happening at the beginning of March. All right, another little cluster here is Mercury will have just moved into Aquarius, and that'll be the MC of the event, meaning that's the part of the sky that's directly overhead at this exact time of the full moon. And right next door is Juno, goddess of sacred marriage, Hieros Gamos. So Mercury helps connect us to the gods. Mercury is about transformation and bringing the higher gold out of the situation. Mercury can also be a trickster. And with the fixed air sign, with the sun just leaving it, Mercury will be kind of coming up and cleaning up and helping bring some more transformation to things that have been too fixed in the air, particularly around topics of marriage and sacred union and balance of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Next, we have this little cluster, Mercury, and Juno, making a beautiful trine to Ceres, the goddess of the grain, who has just entered Gemini, the very early mysteries of Gemini. And I love this part of the sky. This is the point here of the Pleiades constellation here. So nurturing energy coming through that place from the seven mothers, the seven doves, and bringing us some information about balance in our relationships just in time for Valentine's Day. Some supports going on, some sextiles. We have Jupiter here at 10 in Pisces, making a sextile to Uranus. So bringing big electrical, energetic supports. I feel like I missed something over here. With Venus and Mars and Vesta, that has a sextile aspect to Neptune. So Neptune will be bringing some support in the realm of fantasy and illusions and mystery, and maybe allowing some space in our relationships for us to wonder and play in a little fantasy. And the other sextile between Mercury and Juno and the midheaven are with Athena, who has just entered Aries. So Athena being kind of the battle goddess and the goddess of wisdom at the center of the city, giving some support to these air structures that are starting to shift in Aquarius. You can see that the long time square that we've had with Saturn, air structures in Aquarius, and Uranus over here, they're not so tight in that square anymore. Saturn's kind of passed up Uranus right now. So wow, we're all feeling a little bit of relief, like, oh, the restrictions and regulations are easing up a little bit. The rules and intensity are lifting. So let's see what else we got. Another sextile support this is very close. Eris at 2348 is making a sextile to Black Moon Lilith asteroid here at 2339. So again, the goddess of chaos, throwing her golden apples to bring consciousness, even if it is a little chaotic, throwing those golden apples right into the cosmic yoni void, the great mother. And Black Moon Lilith stays in a house for 9 months, so she can represent a period of new birth. So she's also rebirthing this mystery of Gemini here in this part of the sky. And I believe that this is when the natives are talking about how there's been a sacred hoop that's been broken. I sense that the place that was broken was between Rigel, which is here, I think at about 16 degrees in Gemini, and the Pleiades. The Pleiades would be like the mothers, and Rigel and Orion would be like the warrior father. So there's some transformation here with Black Moon Lilith, like rebirthing this part and reconnecting it back to the mothers, which is where the destiny is right now. The North Node over here, also in the Pleiades. So, all right, so let's see what else we got in the chart. Another trine happening between Pluto, Lord of the underworld, still changing those structures on Earth and bringing down all that's not working anymore to bring about a great transformation, death and resurrection experiences, right? Really close to where the United States' Pluto is, trining our North Node of destiny. So helping us hit the mark here. And Pluto is squaring the vertex of this event for particularly where we're located in Moorhead. So if the vertex is that clear, bright sky and that plane flying across really easily, Pluto would be bringing a little bit of tension or frustration to that energy of being able to really have that clear view. So if there's a little bit of confusion, right now, it is what it is. And making a T square also with Hecate on the other side. So triple goddess, that ability to like use your imagination. You can kind of sense some of that energy of, you know, if there's a lot of crown chakra energy being charged up and there's a lot of Pluto, we're going to change things up. That pressure in the crown to be able to think clearly or see clearly, or use your imagination without feeling a little muddied. You know, that tension will definitely be coming up for this full moon. So make sure to slow down. If you're feeling a lot of energy coming up through the crown, just make sure that you're grounding it into the earth. And if you find that you're getting a headache or overwhelmed in the crown chakra, take a break, take a bath, go upside down, use your tools to help balance that energy. And that is it for the full moon reports. Let me see if I can make my screen disappear. I don't know how to do that. Anyways, I just want to plug this course that I'm offering. It's a 5-week course looking over the passion of Mars and Venus. You'll get a mini session with me to take a peek at your own natal chart and see what Mars and Venus are doing in your chart. And then I'll offer like a weekly podcast that is reading and exploring love poetry of the ancient world, and different readings that could inspire your own passion and desire through Venus and Mars's dance through Capricorn and their entrance into Aquarius. So let's see if I can stop sharing. And there we are. I'll close with a card reading. I have my traditional deck today for this reading, and oh, this one's turned over. Now we're just asking for 3 cards to give us advice for this full moon coming up. And I'll do the 3-card spread where I have one card representing the situation, the present situation, and another card represents advice for action not to take, and the other is advice for action to take. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so card representing the situation, the particular situation is the Knight of Wands, a fire sign, which is also that Leo energy, and this one is upside down. So the situation could be that the passions with which we want to ride forth are still in the unconscious, or they're you know, too much over the top. So we need to balance by taking that fire inward, and before rushing out with all that fire energy, we tune in to make sure that our own fire is aligned and grounded. So the situation is there's a lot of fire element that we might even be unconscious of. The second one is advice for action not to take. Oh, okay, don't die. All right. Yeah, there's an upside down symbol of Venus here, and gosh, you know, this card is about transformation, about meeting death head on. It's the number 13 related to the goddess. So, you know, we've been thinking about death so much, I think, through the pandemic, and maybe too much. Maybe it's time to think about life and about spring. So, advice of the cards. And last one, advice for action to take at this time. Oh, the sun upside down. All right. So, you know, the sun is always good, whether it's up or down. The joys of the soul, the light of the soul also has a lot of fire here. And like both these cards are pointing towards like internal fire, reflective fire, the fires of, you know, the inner digestion, the inner spiritual fires, Holy Spirit fires. I'm just trying to think of like these kind of internal pictures of fire, the inner child, the passion of the inner child, to reconnect with the passion of our inner child. So, all right. May we conserve our fires going out in the world and notice within our passions and rediscover our desires. May we turn away from thinking so much about death and consider again all of the new life that's about to come with the spring. And may we take time to pause and note the inner sun and innocence of our soul and find again the Atman, that divine sun within ourselves. As always, everything that I offer, put it in a bubble, hold it for future consideration. Only that which is for our highest good and for the highest good of all. Please use your discernment in taking that into your space. I'd love to have you join me for the Passion of Venus and Mars or any of my other offerings at taroloma.com. Please stop by and check it out. Hope you all have a beautiful full moon. Many blessings.